What is up, guys? Coach Squires here, and today we're going to be talking about how to unlock your explosive power. Now, before I dive into this, because I'm sure some of you have heard about the French contrast, just some prerequisites here. You can't just be a general athlete and go in and try to utilize this, because you need some qualities already developed to take advantage of a system like this, or a training method like this, so to speak. Okay, because again, as you'll see here, there's a lot of movements that you're going to do simultaneously. Now, granted, as I explain this, you'll be able to rest between and stuff, but again, if you don't have the strength and already power developed, then you're going to receive more benefits just focusing on those qualities individually. And then as you become a more advanced athlete, then you could take advantage of this and take your power and explosiveness to that next level, okay? As you'll see within all of our strength and power programs, our bottom squat program, every program within the Elite Athlete Project, we gradually build people up, and typically French contrast, not typically, it's always within basically our last phase, okay? Because we want to make sure that all your qualities are up to par so you could truly receive the benefit of French contrast. Because without these qualities before, these prerequisites, as I like to call them, you're not going to receive the benefit of this. And while this may be a fun way to train, you're kind of wasting your time if you don't have these qualities develop beforehand, okay? Now, the French contrast actually takes us through what's called the the force velocity curve, okay? So as you'll see here, we take different components. So this is absolute strength, or it could even be more of a power-based strength movement. Then we're going to go into a plyometric movement, so some unloaded movement where we're going to be jumping or sprinting, so to speak. Then we're going to go into some weighted plow, so this is more of a speed strength movement, okay? So again, go to top of the curve, then we go down to right before the bottom of the curve, then we go right back above, and then we come all the way back down with velocity and over speed, okay? And we'll most likely lay a little thing up here so you can see what exactly the force velocity curve is and have a little bit of context around that, okay? Now, the idea is that, again, we're training all of these qualities simultaneously, and the key is with this setup is that in order to receive the benefit that we're looking for through all of these, it starts with that heavy strength and more power-based movement, okay? Now, as you see here, you'll notice all the movements are similar movement patterns. This one's all lateral force production here. So as you'll see, we started with the lateral squat. We do want to push a little more weight on this because the goal here is to get all the muscle fibers recruited so that we can use all of that built up force and strength into these next components here, okay? So something a little more heavier and challenging that is similar to the movements that are going to be following. And then as you see here, we go into a plyo-based movement. So we go from a heavy loaded movement to an unloaded movement now, okay? As you see here, we did a skater to box jump. You could also do this with squat patterns, with hinge patterns, but we just want to maintain similar patterns throughout so that we're really receiving the full benefit here, okay? And then we're going to get into a weighted movement of some sort, which is still again power-based movement, so it's a light weighted movement, something you could still move fast. As you see here, we did a crossover sled sprint. The sled was unloaded during this, or we might have had like 25 pounds on, something light, and then we go into something that's over speed. Now, one thing here, you'll see a lot of basketball players utilize this. This is one of the great movements here that we could use for, as we call, overspeed, because with that added resistance going into that cut, we get to use that force and come out of it, as you've seen with the previous videos talking about the stretch shortening cycle and taking advantage of that series elastic component. If you missed that, it's 2 videos ago. But yeah, those are something you want to make sure to check out. Now, like I said here, just to kind of come back to all this, so French contrast, you have to have some strength and power and speed already developed. If you are missing these qualities, you need to train those qualities individually, get them up to par so you can receive the benefit of this, okay? So if you're a freshman coming into high school, unless you're just an absolute unit, this is not something to take advantage of. You're going to get more out of your traditional supersets or even single exercise movements and stuff, just so you could really develop these qualities. Now, the great thing with the French contrast is you'll notice, one, it's fun to do. Okay, you're going to be really engaged when you do it, but it's also very neurally demanding, meaning it puts a lot of stress on our CNS, our central nervous system. So taking rest between these is key here, okay? So you want to hit your heavy weight, wait another 15, 20, maybe even 30 seconds, and then go over to the next one. Because what we're taking advantage advantage of here is that post-activation potentiation, okay? Meaning that that initial movement, we're gonna carry the benefits of that into the next movement so we can get everything out of it. As I mentioned before, this heavy strength, again, gets all those muscle fibers recruited so that you get everything out of the skater to box, right? Now we get that velocity component, now you're gonna get everything out of that next movement there, and then the same thing with the last one, okay? So key components here is making sure you're rested, making sure your prerequisites are up to par, and that you can actually receive the benefits here. And then lastly too, just take your time through it so that you could hit max intent with all these lifts. It's not a race to finish it. You wanna take your time and hit everything at max effort, okay? When you are doing this French contrast. Now, if you're looking for a more structured approach and you feel like you're not sure how to approach this, I highly recommend you go check out our strength and power program, or if you're a rotational athlete, our bomb squat programs. These are complete programs in there. We also have a speed focus program within there, within our elite athlete project membership. It's a low cost every month, just so because we want the athletes to take advantage of these and also to be able to work on the different qualities they may need. And sometimes one program doesn't have that. So this is something you definitely want to check out. We definitely utilize this in all of our programs that involve weight training and everything. So again, check out Elite Athlete Project, and I will see you on the other side.